There was a prophetic word during the crossover service on the 31st of December 2024, where Senior Pastor Johnmark Ighosotu gave words of prophecy, amongst which he talked about visions of plane crashes. Listen to this.
Then we are going to pray. Please pray. This thing has been disturbing my spirit. The temptation for plane crash this year is not smiling. When I heard it, I never had a plane crash, only to start hearing it one after the other, and I'm still seeing 2 more going to happen.
This Delta flight 4819, operated by Endeavor Air, it's a wholly owned regional airline by Delta Airlines, was coming into land on runway 23 at Toronto Pearson International Airport. Pretty windy day there, winds gusting up to 35 knots, about 40 miles per hour, and you can see the evacuation that was successful with a capital S right there on the runway at Toronto Pearson. Folks coming out through the R1 door just behind the pilot's bulkhead there at the backside of the cockpit in the front of the first class cabin, and then the mid-wing exit where they were able to get out and essentially walk away from this crash. I want to show you this incredible new video taken from the evacuation inside the plane that was inverted. The floor, now the ceiling, the bins, the overhead bins, now on the floor. And I want you to watch this now. This is actually the first time I'm seeing it too. Watch.
Everything, drop it. Come on. Don't take it down.
Let's go right now to John Nelson. He was a passenger on the plane. John, thank you so much for being with us. We're so glad you're okay. I mean, who would have known that you were in a plane crash a few hours ago? It's unbelievable. You have video that you recorded. We've been watching. Tell us when you first realized something was the matter.
Yeah, it was a typical flight from Minneapolis to Toronto. And we were coming in, and I did notice that, like, the winds were super gusty. The snow had kind of blown over the runways. And so coming in, it just, it was routine, but like it was noticeable that the runways were kind of in a weird condition. And when we hit, it was just a super hard, like I hit the ground and the plane went sideways. And I believe we skidded like on our side and then flipped over on our back where we ended up. There was like a big fireball out this left side of the plane. And when we got finished, it was I was upside down. Everybody else was there as well. Thankfully, everybody was okay. But we tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. And then shortly thereafter, I got done filming the video. There was another explosion, but luckily the firefighters got out of there.
They were there quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So where were you seated in the plane?
I was in like row 10 of the plane, so just front of the wing.
And did you see the wing come off?
No, by that point we were being tossed around. I was just trying to hold on to everything at that point.
And how did you get yourself out of your seatbelt? And did everyone stay in their seatbelts that you could tell? Was everyone hanging upside down? Had anyone slipped out of their seatbelts?
Yeah, I mean, it was mass chaos. I was upside down. The lady next to me was upside down. We kind of let ourselves go and fell to hit the ceiling, which is surreal feeling. And then everybody was just like, get out, get out, get out. We could smell like jet fuel. Even now I smell like jet fuel. And then we just crawled out the back of the airplane. The firefighters, the EMTs were there right away.
Was anyone injured? I mean, what did you see? We know there were some injuries. What was it like?
Chaos. There was injuries. There was hurt individuals. Yeah, I mean, it's just all the emotional roller coaster that you go through, but things you hope you don't see again, right?
How are you feeling?
Stressed, nervous, shaky still.
Sorry, John, you cut out for just a second. I was asking you how you felt, and you'd said that you're feeling really shaky. And we can pick that up from you. You must be very stressed from this.
Yeah, a lot of stress. It's amazing that we're still here. So Hope to not do that again.
And it really is amazing. And that's what experts have been telling us. When you landed with the hard landing and went to the side and then the plane was upside down, did that all happen very quickly? And what did that physically feel like for you as you were being tossed around?
Yeah, I mean, it's it happens so quickly, right? There's this like giant like pop crack, it's this like super loud bang kind of thing happens, and then everything just goes literally sideways, and it happens so fast that I just remember like kind of pulling myself in and trying not to hit my head against anything. And luckily our flight attendants and everything were helpful for us. So they are signaling me that I do need to move on. But is there anything else?
Just really quickly, do you know why the plane flipped? Do you know did it feel like it dipped one way or the other with the wing?
I don't know. I'm no expert on that one. I will let them figure it out. It feels like snow, wind, hard landing, all of it together.
And have you talked to your family? Are you going to see them?
I'll see them hopefully tomorrow.
Oh, John, that's not soon enough, but I'm so glad you're going to see them. I'm so glad that you're with us. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Above Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport.
This is breaking news on Fox 32. A commercial jet crash near the airport in Washington, D.C. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. This is a live look at the scene at Ronald Reagan National Airport. You can see a massive rescue effort there. This has just happened, and we are going to continue to bring you updates the moment they come in.
And this is chilling video from a camera at the Kennedy Center. It appears to show two aircraft coming together and a fireball exploding. There may have been as many as 60 people on board that jet. We do not know about the crew of the helicopter.
I saw something like a landslide, as if it was like an earthquake. That is not even the issue. I saw a former president or a leader that have ruled before. They were trying to walk on the heads, but the case was, when God showed me before the Christmas, we went to America. Before I realized America, 3 days later, passed out. Former president or head of state, I don't know how they call them. I asked God, he said that's not finished. So I don't know when next, but my prayer is, everyone that have ruled in anywhere, God should give them more grace in Jesus' name.
This has now been in the hospital for a full week as of today. The first encouraging update from the Vatican came just last night in the way of what they describe as a slight improvement in his blood testing. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Seth Doan is live from Rome, just outside the specialized hospital unit once again, Seth, where the Pope is being treated. Give us the latest update on his condition and how the Vatican is characterizing this health incident.
Errol, I decided to keep out my phone so I could read to you the updates that we're getting, so you could get a sense of how little we're hearing each day. I'm translating from Italian. The update yesterday said the Pope passed a tranquil evening. He woke up and had breakfast. Today's update was the night was a serene night. The Holy Father got up and did breakfast in a chair. And that's what we've heard so far today. So it's really bits and pieces of information that is coming from the Vatican. Most of the medical news comes out in the evening from the hospital, but even that is we're really having to kind of read between the lines. They're saying very little. There was a slight improvement, though, as you mentioned, coming to me in the blood tests, specifically the indices that look at inflammation in the Pope's blood. And so that was a turn a little bit more positive last night. Of course, 2 nights ago, we had that news that no one wanted to hear about having pneumonia in both lungs. So bits and pieces of information coming out here out of Gemelli Hospital, where the Pope is being treated in a special wing, his own papal suite.
You know, there are millions of people who are hanging on your every word, the Vatican's every word, because, an ailing Pope is very troubling for so many. What is the atmosphere like, if you've been able to see and get some reporting out of Vatican City, and then separately where you are, where the Pope is physically in his hospital bed?
It's interesting because the Pope is being treated here. The world's attention is on this building. He's up in a set of rooms, a suite above me. But if you walk in right behind me there, it's business as usual. The restaurant's busy, the bar, the coffee shop is busy, and there are regular people being treated, going to the emergency room. It is a hospital that continues to operate as normal. But in front, you're starting to see people come up and they're putting little cards, making prayers, also for people who are going through treatment here at this hospital. You're hearing the same thing around churches across Rome, where people are praying for the health of this Pope. And one thing the Vatican is putting out, which has been kind of interesting to see, is messages of support going to Pope Francis. Specifically, they gave us a couple of images of letters that he'd received from kids in the oncology unit, the pediatric oncology unit here, who were drawing, who were sending drawings, who were sending notes of well wishes, letters written in Italian, hoping that the Pope has a speedy recovery. So certainly people are sending their best wishes and hoping for exactly that. Meanwhile, we're hearing in the press, not directly from the Vatican, but among doctors who have been interviewed, that any recovery from something so serious would take, we're talking about at least a week. But that is not official. That's just what the doctors are saying for recovering from a double lung pneumonia in both lungs.
Right, yeah, he is a man in his 80s. Seth Doan, great to have you connect with us with the latest on Pope.
Then we're going to pray. Please pray. This thing has been disturbing my spirit. And any popular gospel artist that the devil said you are shaking the kingdom too much, we want to shake you. We declare that grace will deliver that person.
For the sake of the body of Christ, I thought to bring some clarity to a lot of misleading news out there online about the Mercy Chinwo brand. A man said I sued him, came online, made videos to tarnish my image. He looked at me and said, I made you who you are and I will destroy you. I became scared of my life. It got to a point where I had to move from Lagos to Port Harcourt because this man made the environment toxic for me. I've endured bullying, I've endured threats.
And any popular gospel artist that the devil said you are shaking the kingdom too much, we want to shake you. We want to shake you.
Whatever he's doing on social media now is nothing compared to what I went through. This is not to paint him bad. He took me to court, came online to tell the public that I took him to court. Here are the documents. You took myself and Minister Judike to court. And you're here playing the victim game. You bullied me, you threatened my life, you said you made me who I am and that you would destroy me. When you were the same person, how many lawyers have you changed now? Because you said you're going to deal with me, you have connections, you have money. What did I do? What have I done to you? I took you as a father. I was once your backup singer. I served you diligently. We signed the management contract in 2017. As we progressed, you tried to convince me to sign a 12-year contract, which I said no. Since then, you started acting funny, always toxic because I did not extend the contract. Immediately after my contract, I discovered you forged a new contract. Please tell the world what happened to the 2017 and the 2019 contract. You seized my royalties for 2 years. You're a bully. You're an oppressor. One of my major crimes was when I did a song with Pastor Nathaniel Bassi. Because this man hates Pastor Nathaniel Bassi, you went as far as sponsoring fake news about an innocent child, my son, and you said my son was not my son. And you paid bloggers because you hate Pastor Jerry Eze. You won't want me to go for his events. The people you fight, I must fight them with you. And when I ask you questions, why don't you like them? You start harassing me. Because you had threatened me countlessly. You said you made me who I am and you have the power to destroy me. You are not God and you cannot destroy me. You have bloggers. I have God. The worst you can do is what you are doing. Like I said, what I went through working with you is nothing compared to what you are doing. You have bloggers. I have God. And I know that God will not let your plan come to pass. For his thoughts for me, they are of good and not of evil.
Then we're going to pray. Please pray. This thing has been disturbing my spirit. And any popular gospel artist that the devil said you are shaking the kingdom too much, we want to shake you. We declare that grace will deliver that person.